Good morning. I'm Carol Ruwe, an associate professor in the School of Nursing, and I am pleased to present to you Katherine Smith-Long as the recipient of the Outstanding Young Alumni Award. So I want to tell you about Katherine. Her arrival at Barton College came about as the result of finding not the quite right fit at other institutions of higher education. A science major to begin with, it still wasn't the right fit. So she came to Barton with high hopes, and indeed, it was in fact a match that was made in heaven. I heard Katherine tell her story at open house presentations to families of prospective students many, many times. She always spoke of the warm family environment that they would find here at Barton and how she had found her place here as well. They would find a home here and also a place that was a rich learning environment as well. She always spoke passionately about the sense of family and, of course, always how thrilled she was to be a Barton College Bulldog. I remember when Katherine asked me during her sophomore year if I would be willing to complete a scholarship application recommendation for her at her local hospital down in Morehead City. Of course, I did so, but I decided that was not enough. So after completing the form, I reached over, picked up the phone, and called the Human Resources Director and told him, I just completed a reference for a student that I want to tell you about. This is a student you will want to offer a scholarship to. This is a student that you will want to hire as a future nurse one day. And so sure enough, after they met Katherine, they offered her a scholarship that would be followed with an opportunity for employment following her graduation. So everything fell perfectly into line. Katherine even went so far as to make arrangements for her final nursing capstone experience to be at that local hospital. And so everything was fine until she received a letter from them at the end of fall semester saying that she was released from her job commitment there because they wouldn't have a job for her upon graduation. So despite that huge disappointment, Katherine decided that she was going forward with that capstone experience anyway. She was going to go to Morehead City and show them what a Barton College nurse could do. And so sure enough, she did. While she was there, she created such an impression that they somehow managed to create a job for her following graduation. And so Katherine was all set, and she actually has gone on to truly become a superstar at their hospital. She works in an intensive care unit. She assumes a leadership role in their cardiac care in working with their cardiac care patients, and has just recently shared with us that she has gone on to accept a position as an assistant administrator. All of this happening in just 3 short years. Katherine Smith-Long has certainly shown what a Barton College nurse can do. She had a fabulous learning experience here at Barton. We prepared her with leadership experiences. She was president of her senior nursing class, vice president of the Barton College Nursing Students Association, and even served as vice president of the North Carolina Association of Nursing Students. Her leadership was recognized in many, many ways, and even now we turn to Katherine as the example of what a Barton student nurse leader is. Not only has Katherine made a huge impact in her work environment at her hospital, she also serves the community. She shows that Barton College spirit of giving back to the community. Not only is she a professional in every sense of the word, but she lives that experience of giving and sharing with others. And so it is indeed an honor to have Katherine receive this award today. She is the perfect example of how hard work that is fueled by passion and determination and a Barton College education can help one to achieve just the most wonderful and magnificent of dreams. And so this morning I present to you Katherine Smith Long as the recipient of the Outstanding Young Alumni Award.
Hi, my name is Katherine Long. I graduated from the School of Nursing in 2012 here from Barton College. Sadly, I could not be here tomorrow to receive the Outstanding Graduate Award, but I am so privileged to be receiving that from my Barton community. I currently work at Carteret General, which is now Carteret Healthcare in Morehead City, North Carolina, as a critical care nurse. I've been there for about 3.5 years. And I am the nurse I am today because of the community at Barton College. I began my school career, if you will, at a large university, and I was there for about 3 years, and I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I came back home and heard from some friends about Barton College and found out that they had a nursing program. So after much research, I decided to come on up to Barton, and the staff and faculty here were so welcoming, and they really wanted to know what I wanted out of life and what I wanted to do with myself. And I told them that I thought nursing would be a great start for me. And so without any hesitation, they took me right over. I got to meet several of the faculty there, shown around the campus, and really fell in love with Barton College. It was almost like putting on a good old pair of blue jeans. That's how Barton College felt. Never once did I walk into a faculty member's office where I heard, "You can't do that, you're not smart enough." It was always, "What can we do to make you better? What can we do to help you succeed in your goals and in your dreams?" And in 2.5 years, which seemed like a blur, I was graduated and began working. No one ever took the time to tell me in my large university that I could be somebody. They always let fear stand in the way, and it wasn't until I got to Barton College where the fear was erased. I was made into someone. All of my talents and skills were cultivated into the person I am today. I was always very confused as to why I would receive compliments at work or be called from the college to come and speak to younger students. But I quickly realized that it was because of the values and just the cultivation and the time that the staff and faculty took here at Barton. That's why I get the compliments that I do today. And Barton College and its faculty and staff and members of the community are why I am the way I am today. And so I am so thankful that you guys have chosen me to receive this award, and I can't thank you enough.
Dr. Mary Kate Irwin graduated from Barton College in 1998 with a major in deaf education and a minor in elementary education. She received her master's degree in elementary education from the University of Southern Indiana, and it was followed by her doctoral degree in special education from the University of Cincinnati. With 12 years of well-rounded experience, Dr. Irwin developed an expertise in meeting the needs of diverse learners, and more specifically, the needs of students with chronic illness. She specializes in the interface between health and education systems for pediatric patients and students. Under Dr. Irwin's leadership, the school intervention program at Cincinnati Children's Hospital became the national model for school intervention programs, striving to bridge the gap between hospitals and school systems for children and adolescents with serious and chronic diseases. She also played a pivotal role in the development and startup of the Heart Institute's Neurodevelopmental Clinic, which has become the national model for patients with congenital heart disease. She developed an online certificate program to train multidisciplinary professionals as resident experts in the educational and support of students with chronic medical conditions. As the first program of its kind in this country, this certificate is receiving noteworthy international attention and is being considered a primary mechanism to train professionals dedicated to working with students experiencing chronicity. In her current role as the Director of School Health Services, Dr. Irwin is responsible for building the new department at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, which will interface with community schools in 34 countries in Central Ohio. Dr. Irwin also serves as the president of the Association of Pediatric Hematology and Oncology Education Specialists. She's a consultant to hospital systems striving to begin or increase educational support to patients. An editorial board member for the Journal of Physical Disabilities, Education and Related Services. A reviewer of the Journal of Pediatric Nursing. A principal investigator, a research advisor, an author, collaborator, and a national speaker on topics related to the intersection between the health and education services. On behalf of Barton College, I'm extremely honored to be presenting the 2015 Alumni Achievement Award to my dear friend, Dr. Mary K. Grever Irwin.
Good morning. It's so good to be back. So thank you, Brenna, for that kind introduction. And I also wanted to thank the Alumni Board for selecting me for this wonderful honor. If you would have asked me back in 1994 when I arrived that I'd be standing before you in 2015 receiving this award, I would not have believed you. And I want to tell you why. So at the age of 16, I knew what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a teacher of students who are deaf. And when I declared that passion of mine to my parents, they were thrilled and super supportive. But my parents, their background is in the medical field. So my mom is a nurse and my dad is a physician. And when I said I wanted to be a teacher, they said, that's wonderful, it's noble, but we have no idea how to get you there. So the three of us dug in and we looked at teacher preparation programs and taught ourselves about the importance of accreditation and looked for internship opportunities. And that's how we found Barton College. So the truth is I could not have asked for more supportive parents. And although I knew deep down that I was called to be a teacher, I still felt a void when I pictured my long-term path. Though he did not know it, and he is probably hearing it for the first time today, I was measuring my capabilities and my potential to make a meaningful impact against my father's ability to do so. Over the years, I've always felt so proud of my dad as I witnessed him saving lives and developing new drugs to cure cancer and to mentor young physicians. Everywhere we went when we were young, we would encounter people who were thanking my dad for the help that he provided. And they were whispering to me and my brother and my sister, your dad is amazing. He's an amazing man. He's an amazing doctor. All the while, Dad remained humble and focused on my needs and my future success, and the same for my siblings. So when I arrived at Barton College, I was excited and driven, but I actually felt that I had truncated my potential before I even began because of my choice to be a teacher. Assuming that I could never help people the way my dad was helping people, I accepted my less than fate and began my own journey as I kept what I know now to be a naive perception to myself. Throughout the course of my 4 years, I had the privilege of being taught by wonderful professors. In the spirit of brevity, I will highlight the one professor I credit with being my mentor and for helping me change my unhealthy perception of my inability to make a sizable contribution and impact as a teacher, Dr. Dave Dolman. As I came to know Dr. Dolman, I began to recognize that he embodied the same admirable qualities as my father. He is intelligent, he is passionate, and he is dedicated to mentoring young teachers. Dr. Dolman taught me how to be a professional, how to strive for excellence, and most importantly, how I could use my gifts to make an impact as important as my father's impact. I could spend a significant amount of time sharing how these two distinguished men have influenced me, but I will summarize by thanking Dad for teaching me that helping others contributes to personal fulfillment in amazing ways, and for not giving up on me when I could not really absorb your message that education is a noble field, and for thanking Dr. Dolman for allowing me to finally believe what my father was trying to impress upon me by helping me see that I could achieve all I wanted with my talents as an educator. I would be remiss not to mention how the love and support of my mother, my husband, siblings, and my dear friends have provided me with confidence when I was feeling less confident and guidance when I needed direction. In particular, my mom and my husband have helped me in countless ways with housework, watching the kids, to allow me more time to work and to write and to research. Lastly, I will mention my eternal gratitude to my alma mater. Barton College is a special, special school. Not only did I receive an outstanding education, but it is through my experiences as an undergraduate that I learned who the professional Mary Kay could be and will continue to be for a population of children whose education needs are largely overlooked, and for a field lacking dedicated professionals willing to push our health and education systems to abandon a silo approach in an effort to come together to create a synergetic strategy to help improve quality life outcomes for children and adolescents who experience health disparities. As I tell anyone who will listen to me, my successes now and my successes in the future will always be Barton College's successes. Thank you.
Good morning. Mary Kay, on behalf of all of us who were here in 1994 when you arrived, let me assure you this is not a surprise to us at all. And we know you're not through. Congratulations. Gary Hall, Barton College Employee Service Award. It is fitting that Barton College establish an Employee Service Award. The award recognizes significant service to the college by any faculty or staff member who has given their time, expertise, and/or leadership generously, thereby ensuring the prolonged welfare of the institution for generations to come. It is also fitting that Gary Hall receive this award. Whenever one thinks of service to this institution, not to mention loyalty to their alma mater, the name of Gary Hall must come to mind. A 1980 graduate of the former Atlantic Christian College, he came back to campus in 1989 to serve as athletic director and men's soccer coach. He coached the soccer team for 18 years and only stepped down as athletic director earlier this year. That's a tenure of more than 25 years as athletic director, or better than twice as long as anyone else has ever held the job. It is especially fitting that Gary Hall be the first recipient of this award. When you consider what the college and its athletic department accomplished during his tenure, you must marvel at his commitment to excellence and his desire to see his alma mater succeed. When you think about all the long hours he devoted to this institution and the work that he put into moving our program from NAIA to NCAA Division II, it is simply staggering. He literally gave it his all every day. And it was always Barton first, no matter what he was striving to accomplish on behalf of our students, coaches, and teams. Time does not permit us to recall all the honors and accolades that Gary Hall has received throughout his career. The highlights alone would take several minutes. To mention just a few, he is a member of the North Carolina Soccer Hall of Fame and the recipient of the NCAA Division II Athletic Directors Association Lifetime Achievement Award. The Barton College Athletic Department has established the Gary W. Hall Excellence in Athletics Award, and he proudly wears the title of Athletic Director Emeritus, while now serving as Athletic Campaign Consultant for the college's Division of Institutional Advancement. In short, no finer person has ever worked for this college. No one has ever given more of themselves. No one could be more deserving of receiving this award, and no one could be more deserving of being its first recipient. Gary Hall, the winner of the first Barton College Employee Service Award.
It's a great day to be a Bulldog. I want to extend my congratulations to Tom, Mary Kay, Katherine, and Tony on your awards. Russell, thank you for that very kind introduction. Thank you to Summer Brock and the Alumni Board for recognizing me with this award. And thanks to my family members and friends who are in attendance. In Corinthians 15:57, we are told that our Lord gives us victory through Jesus Christ. I have experienced nothing but victory in my relationship with Atlantic Christian Barton College. I entered school here in 1978 and immediately was blessed to play on our first 2 championship soccer teams. I received a great education. When I was serving as head men's soccer coach at Campbell University in 1988, I was contacted by then President Jim Hemby, Trustee Bobby Dunn, and Bulldog Club President Ryan Sharp about returning to AC to serve as Director of Athletics, Chair of the Physical Education Department, and head men's soccer coach. I prayed really hard over this one. The Lord revealed that His will was for me to return here and accept the job, which I did. And if you lived in Wilson at that time, you know that you could not tell Jim Hemby, Bobby Dunn, and Ryan Sharp no about anything and get away with it. As much as I believe the move here was the Lord's will for me to continue my calling to work with college students, there was another, even more important reason He called me back here. Jean Daughtry. Jean returned to school to complete her degree. I began my duties here. We became reacquainted and were married within a year and eventually started our family. And thus, for following our Lord's direction, I was rewarded with the blessing of a great place to perform my career calling and a wonderful family. As far as victories, my work here allowed me to be part of soccer championships, Hawn Cups, 48 different conference and district and regional championships, and a national basketball championship. But the greatest victory afforded me in my 25 and a half years as our Director of Athletics was the blessing of serving on such a great team, including people like Todd Wilkinson, Ron Levency, Wendy St. Sing, and many others. As I have transitioned to my new position as athletic campaign consultant, I find that I'm again blessed to be on a great team, this time under the direction of Jan Merriweather in institutional advancement. I have been through some physical challenges recently, but I will continue to live victoriously as a barking, biting, battling Barton Bulldog. Thank you. Yep.
It is my honor to announce that the Employee Service Award, created by the Alumni Association Board of Directors, will from now on be known as the Gary W. Hall Employee Service Award.
Tony Tilley Honorary Alumnus Award. The first time Rodney Dangerfield ever called Eddie Murphy's act, he was not impressed, and he told him so. Murphy would never make it in this business, Rodney surmised. Fast forward 5 years later. Eddie Murphy is the biggest name in show business, and he's starring on Saturday Night Live. Dangerfield and Murphy's paths cross in all places, a casino in Las Vegas. They're in the men's room, standing at the urinal. Eddie Murphy is expecting this great apology or for Rodney to tell him, "You were right, I was wrong." And Rodney just looks at him with his big old bug eyes and says, "Who knew?" In the summer of 1986, the former Atlantic Christian College was in search of a new food service director. A young man by the name of Tony Tilley at Elon landed the job. That was 29 years ago. Let's put that into perspective. Tony and Susan's daughter, Katie, was 2 years old. Aramark Food Services was simply ARA, and Barton was still Atlantic Christian College. Jim Henby was in the 4th year of his presidency here. Today, Tony is breaking in his 3rd college president. He has long since outlasted all of his old bosses at Aramark. The campus and the community have changed drastically. No more than a handful of faculty and staff have remained here throughout that time. Generations of students, including his wife and his daughter, have come and gone. The school has been known as Barton College for 25 years. The one constant has been Tony Tilley, who long ago became an institution on this campus, operating from his perch high atop the Hamlin Student Center. No more than a handful of faculty and staff have gone through there and not realized that that's his cafeteria. He owns that place. He has been a source of inspiration and support to everyone who has worked here, especially the coaches who have called on him at all hours, day and night, to feed their teams. In recent years, Barton College has honored Tony Tilley through his induction into the Athletic Hall of Fame. He's been roasted and he's been toasted. He's even has his own bobblehead doll. Best of all, he's added the title of grandfather to his resume. And he will quickly tell you that is the best job that he's ever had. The Honorary Alumnus Award was established to recognize non-graduates who have contributed significantly to Barton College as humanitarians and professionals by producing outstanding support and service. The award is not presented annually, but only as merited in special circumstances wherein an individual has distinguished himself or herself in support of the college over an extended period of time. 29 years certainly qualifies as an extended period of time. And Tony Tilley's record of service and support cannot be touched. Who knew? Perhaps Amanda Humphrey Metz, our Assistant Director of Admissions, and a 1997 Barton graduate, is best equipped to answer the question, who knew? She has known Tony as a student, a babysitter for their daughter, an alumna, a co-worker, and a friend. Here's what Amanda had to say. Personally, Tony became my second father. He and Susan became part of my family. I can't say enough about them. Professionally, Tony does a great job selling the college. He has helped a lot of people get through college, and he's helped a lot of people get out of trouble, especially the Alpha Sigs. The parents remember him more than anybody on campus. His one saying that has always stuck with me, remember who you are and what you represent. That is such a fine saying. And at the end of the day, it is one Tony Tilley has lived by through his many years on this campus. It is only fitting that he receives this recognition as an honorary alumnus of Barton College, and we ask him to come forward now and receive this award. Tony Tilley.
Man, it makes me cry.
Thank you. Love you, buddy. Congratulations.
To the coaching staff, don't call me no more. No, I'm kidding. Todd still calls me. I can't understand that. I won't take one. And that is the precious right there. For all the alumni, I can only say one thing. It's with the Searcy's on board, it's like a breath of fresh air. And you need to grasp that air today, and you need to come back and watch. We need your support, like he said. We need to be bold. I like that statement. I remember that. I try to be bold every day in that dining hall. I don't think I've cussed anybody. Susan, I've not used a cuss word. That's my lovely wife, by the way. Nobody knows that I'm married. That is my wife, Susan. But you just got to remember, we need to come back. It's important that y'all do. And damn it, I hope you do. Y'all only used one, Susan. Thank you so much. Thank the committee. Thank everybody. Thank some of us. Thank you.
Dr. Searcy, you have just survived the 3 most exciting minutes of your career here. It's all downhill from here. The Alumni Council was gathering less than 100 yards from here to select the Alumnus of the Year for 1988. The names of many outstanding nominees were easily recognizable by everyone at the table. The dark horse candidate was Reverend Clayton Weeks, but my money was on him because Sarah Bain Ward was the jockey. Their paths had crossed decades earlier, but neither Sarah Bain nor anyone at the table had seen much of Clayton for decades, with good reason. Reverend Weeks had devoted his entire life to serving as a missionary, spreading the gospel throughout the far reaches of this planet. Recalling her words as if they were spoken yesterday, Sarah Bain proclaimed, "This is what we are all about." Those words came back to me when preparing to nominate Tom Parham for what will henceforth be known as the Distinguished Alumni Award. Tom graduated in 1963 and devoted the next 4 decades of his life to teaching and coaching. He coached tennis at schools now known as Barton College and Elon University. He pursued excellence at every turn, claiming national championships at both schools. Throughout his career, he has remained loyal and committed to his alma mater. He acquired no great fortune, unless you measure wealth in terms of lives impacted, friends made, careers influenced. By those standards, he may well be the richest man alive. And it occurred to me, this is what we're all about. Recalled one of his students, Gary Hall, class of 1980. As an alumnus coach and faculty member then, he was a true bulldog, just as he is today, as he contributes to Barton College in so many ways. He continues to be a great ambassador for the institution, a true bulldog. Added one of his players, Eddie Gwaltney, class of 1969. It was during this time that I would come to realize the tremendous bond that Coach Parham and his players developed. He truly cared for all of us, both on and off the court. This from Alan Searson, class of 1975. I have known Coach Parham for over 40 years, and he has had as much influence on my life as anyone outside my immediate family members. John Eatman, C.J. Holliday, Kenny Rand, Gary McMahon, Bobby Gilmore, Scooter Griffin, Dick Knox, and Gary Farmer expressed similar sentiments, as did Bobby Dean White, class of 1979, who said, "A man like that inspires all of us who know him to use their best efforts." In the end, that is what Barton has always had as its mission, inspiring young men and women to learn, explore, and improve using their best efforts. And that is why Coach Parham deserves the highest recognition that Barton can offer. By teaching an example, he has always inspired us to do our best. This is what we're all about. Tom Parham, Tom Parham is the 2015 recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award. Tom.
Congratulations to Russell, who's newly in the Hall of Fame, the Athletic Hall of Fame. I guess 2 reminders. You remember my T-shirt said, "You ain't got a limp, you ain't done much." I'm sorry it took a while to get up here. The other thing I forgot was you could send a tape. In this hilarious political arena we have recently, the term involved is a pole turtle. Remember that one? A pole turtle was a Texas turtle that wound up on the top of a pole, having no idea how it got there or any idea what to do next. I'm going to do this a little different. There are some bald-headed and gray-headed elderly people out there. They are my classmates. I call them Aries, not that they were born in the same month, but they'll tell you about pulmonaries and coronaries, urinaries. You just ask one of them how you doing, how's everything going. They'll tell you all about that. I can talk a lot about what I'm doing up here, but I'm going to show you. Dick Knox back there. Stand up. He was first person was a real friend, and has helped run the state of North Carolina's athletic program for years and years, and I'm proud of that. This is close stuff now. John Eatman, stand up. He's my first #1 player. He lost, stand up, look at him. He's right on Gold Street. He lost the first 22 matches he played in high school. And he turned out to be the top player in North Carolina in the 45s, and he's had a remarkably good career in the business department at UNC Greensboro. Eddie Waltney, I don't remember life without him. He was in my advisor's class. He and a boy named Gary McMahon. I asked if anybody had played high school tennis, and he said, yeah. And I said, well, you're on the team. So he's been in every tennis camp. I don't know whether Ann is here or not. Is Ann Cloyd here? I don't know whether she made it or not, but Mr. Cloyd, of course, was part of the first tennis camp in North Carolina. And Eddie, I don't know how many of you worked, but we've been through a lot of them and have enjoyed that. And our friendship that's lasting. Can you stand up? When Kenny was, he had an offer to NC State, but he didn't make enough high score on the SAT. And they turned him down, and he came down here and offered him $600. And then they called him back and said that he had his second score was high enough. And he said, no. said, no, I'm going where that man took me. Okay? Thank you. I shouldn't have done this. Danny Thompson, stand up. We had a football team at Atlantic Christian one time. Danny went on it. We had a football player named Ned Ligon. Earl Boykin would remember Ned. He was a good football player, hell of a man, but he made honorable mention All-American. That's the first team All-American. You have to sit down now. And remember, Danny was part of that too. And I remember that forehand he hit out there to win 3 straight, 9-7 in the third matches in Kansas City. I got to remember Dr. Walter Anderson. You remember, died recently, and he helped me with the international students. Stand up, Christopher. Christopher's from Sweden. He's an American now, and he's a redneck even now. He played on a national championship team, and nobody that's ever played has won more championships. Won, I think, 3 district and conference championships in soccer, and then 4 in tennis, and then a national championship. You got all the banners, buddy. So thank you for being here. I don't want to forget anybody in it, but there have been a lot of great players. Dr. Anderson was a tremendous asset in helping get the international kids here, and we didn't have any. I don't know. We probably had 50 All-American players since Danny broke the ice, and I don't know how many international kids have been to school. You all know who they are and the quality of some of those people, and Dr. Anderson told me, I don't know whether we can get that boy in school or not, but we won't do everything we can for you. And we had, the international kids would come in, and the teachers would say, that kid can't even speak English. And I found out, just give them 3 months. They don't understand redneck. They don't know what you're saying. If you give them 3 months, they'll make all A's. And Christopher asked me one time out in Kansas City, if you made a 3.9, I think you got to stand up. And Christopher said, do I get to stand up? And he stood up. So there were a lot of great kids academically. I can't say that it was a great experience to be here as a student. The Ed Cloyds and Hart Sox, and I can go on with names like Eddie Hopkins, who worked in the maintenance department, and I had a little trouble with health, and Frances Griffin helped me in the infirmary, treated me like a mother, and Catherine Lamb under Milton Adams, and Bethany Joyner. All those people were part of a family, and my classmates are family, and my team's family, the people that I coach with. One of the people that has never gotten the credit he needed for helping the athletic program here, and is David Adkins. And I'm not sure that anybody knows it any more than you do. And he was a stand-up guy. I'm grateful for this, and I'm proud to be a part of you, and I wish you well in your new adventure, and let's be bold, Bulldogs. Thank you.